Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So this is day 10 of 30 Inks 30 Days for April 2021. And the ink I have chosen for today was a sample that was sent to me by pen friend Casey. This is Noodler's Proctor's Ledge. And this is one that I am not very familiar with. I've heard a couple of other people talk about it, most notably Amanda B. And I've never actually used it before myself, so I'm interested to try it out today. And I think I've mentioned before that I've been using some, I've been watching some like weird history videos lately. Not just weird history, just, you know, some weird videos lately, because they're fun. And I actually saw one about Proctor's Ledge not too long ago. So I thought that was a very interesting coincidence. But if you're not familiar, let me make sure I'm spelling this right. Proctor's Ledge is the place in Salem where the women and men accused of being witches were hanged. So it's a little rocky outcropping in Salem, Massachusetts, out in the forest, in the woods with trees all around, and they were hanged from one of the trees on Proctor's Ledge. So quite an infamous place. And I think it was only recognized a few years ago. I saw an article from 2016 about the city marking it or something like that, making it into a historical site or something like that. So, not getting a drip out of this one. Okay. And I have already swatched it on my page here. So where is my trusty Sharpie? Oh, I meant to tell you this at the beginning of the video, but I had Liberty's Elysium in my pen yesterday. And I said I probably wasn't going to buy a bottle of it because I have a lot of blues and it seemed really wet and, you know, it just didn't really appeal to me that much. I don't know if you can see that, but that is ink under the cap liner in my pen. And I have never had to clean ink out of the cap liner in my TWSBI Go before. So that is Liberty's Elysium. Pardon my broken fingernail, but you know, it happens. So bad Liberty's Elysium for getting stuck in my cap liner. So now I really don't want to get a bottle of it because you just shouldn't do that. But other than that, it cleaned out of the pen pretty easily. It just got stuck in the liner and it doesn't want to come out. So I'm going to have to take the liner out, which I've never done before, and clean it. But thankfully, most TWSBI pens, I shouldn't say most TWSBI pens, thankfully, TWSBI pens are disassemblable, so we can take them apart and clean them. And also, somebody said that I was being very brave writing on both pages in my notebook with the Noodler's ink, but looking at the back of this page with all of my bleed through, and that was a blob of cactus fruit eel, I was thinking that it might have some sheen on it. So I put a big blob on there to see what would happen, and it really doesn't have any sheen. But I was experimenting, and it bled through and made a very interesting bright pink splotch on the back. So yes, I will not try to write on the back of this page. We will move on to the next page. So let me see. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I think you can. Ooh, it looks like it's feathering some. Let's see. Ooh, it seems very wet. It seems very wet, but it didn't drip on the card. That was weird. So this is, I'm going to put the date here. So it is 4/10/21. And this is, what is this? Proctor's Ledge. And this is my Twisby Go with a broad nib. I feel like there's a better angle so you guys can see what I'm writing, but I promise to show you afterwards. Is it just me, or does it look like it's feathering? If my camera will focus. Let me see. Does that look like it's feathering? I think the dots are throwing me off. Yes. Well, look at that G. Does that look like a feathery G to you? I think it does. Oh, that can't be good. Yeah, it's not doing so well. Although the Twisby looks like it has some nice shading on it. So it has shading and feathering. That's interesting. Okay, so where is my Q-tip? I'm gonna do my little 3 passes on here. I did it again. I cannot stay in between the dots, I swear. And again, I don't think I let that dry enough. So I think the Q-tip actually soaked up a little bit of the ink. Okie dokie. Oh my goodness, I forgot to do my little hash marks for the water test. Dear, oh dear. Okay, so we are gonna let that dry for a little bit, and we will come back to him in a moment. Oh, you know what? I forgot to write my little bits in my other notebooks. It's been a crazy day, so I'm just all unprepared, but that's okay. We'll do it together. So, this is day 10, and this is Proctor's Ledge. And that is what it looks like before it dries. Gosh, my camera just doesn't want to focus tonight. So I do see a little bit of shading. I'm not seeing any feathering. Oh, I don't know. Maybe on that E. Does the E look like it's feathering? And my camera doesn't want to focus. The E might be a little feathery. Oh my goodness, that is a terrible T. All right. And for my quote today, since we're talking about Proctor's Ledge and the Salem Witch Trials, I thought it would be appropriate to have a quote about magic. Well, I've got that big blue blob right there. And that was from somebody bleeding through, maybe. Alrighty. So again, he's still drying a little bit, but this is definitely showing the shading better, as the Tomaway River paper usually does. It's a very interesting brown color. I really wasn't sure what to expect with the name, and I was looking at it in the vial, and it was kind of hard to tell what color it was in the vial, so I just wasn't sure. Okay, so now we're going to do our water test, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Oops, sorry. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. Well, my camera rig slid off of the table, so that was an adventure, but things are cobbled back together again. So let's see. Our ink should be completely dry now, and I'm going to give it a couple of water drops, and we're going to give it about 30 seconds to see how it does. So yeah, I mentioned I've been watching these weird history videos, and I think the one that I saw, the Proctor's Ledge story, was Fascinating Horror, I think, Fascinating Horror, which sounds, I guess it sounds pretty gruesome, but it's really not. It's just weird things that have happened and the stories behind them, although I guess some of them are pretty gruesome. But I think YouTube suggested this channel to me because I have been watching the Caitlin Doughty channel, who is Ask a Mortician, and she is hilarious and weird, and I love her too. So anyway, I will link both channels below if you're interested in checking them out. So I am blotting carefully so I don't ruin my paper. Wow, there's a little bit of ink on the paper towel, but not very much, and it hardly moved at all. So that's pretty impressive. Just a faint little bit of well, it's not, I guess it's smearing, bleeding, I don't know, just a faint little bit, but mostly the ink is still there. So this one is definitely water resistant. And I'm trying to zoom out a little bit, and it's not working. We're just having some camera problems today. And I don't know why, but Gus is just beside himself. What is it, puppy? Okay. I think he is freaked out by me talking about Proctor's Ledge. So let us move on to some comparisons. I think our card is just about dry at this point. Again, we need to, oh, there we go. Now it's zoomed out. Oh, technology. It's enough to drive you insane, which is their plan. They're trying to drive us all insane. Oh, don't get me started. Okay, so I wasn't familiar with this color, and I didn't know what to expect. So I pulled out a range of different things, and my range is pretty off because I pulled out blacks and grays and greens and browns. So just for fun, I will show you a few of each of those just to give you an idea. Here is Robert Oster Motor Oil, which I always think of as kind of a grayish brown, but next to this it looks really green. Here is Robert Oster Thunderstorm, looking very blue. Here is Lexington Gray, looking very gray. Let's see, Diamine Earl Grey, looking very blue. Who else do we have here? Here is Noodler's Black. I was honestly thinking that Noodler's Black would be a pretty good match for it, but yeah, this ink is not black at all. And in fact, in the vial, where's the vial? It looks really dark. It looks very dark. So I thought this was going to be a black or a dark gray ink. So when I swatched it on the page, I was very surprised that it was brown. So let's see. Okay, let's move into some browns here. Here is Platinum Pigmented Sepia, much lighter. Monteverde Brown Sugar. Now this is looking, I don't know, almost purple maybe. Here is Kaveco Caramel Brown, Diamine Deep Dark Brown, and next to these guys it looks kind of reddish because these are both, you know, very brown. Here is Monteverde Moonstone, again looking very brown. Diamine Macassar, still looking pretty brown. Here is the Pannonia Geseniabarna. Such a fun word to say. Looking really orange next to this one. And again, it's looking a little purpley, maybe? I don't know. I think this is going to be one that's just hard to categorize. Now here's Lamy Topaz. That's looking a bit closer. And then I have some green ones because I didn't know if it might be like a brownish green, but they are just nowhere close at all. They're just green. And there's Army Green, just looking very green. So I think Lamy Topaz might be about the closest thing that I have, which isn't very close at all. So yeah, this is really a really unique color. It's brown, it's burgundy, it's purple, it's many colors depending on what it's next to. So very interesting. All right, well thank you, Miss Casey, for sending me this sample. I have enjoyed using it. And I think that is about all for this round. So I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.